Hi everyone, in this video we'll discuss about dural venous sinus. Previously we have talked about dural foldings and now we'll discuss in details of about dural venous sinus. For the notes of this video, please visit my Telegram channel and the link is given in description below. Dural venous sinus are intradural space present between the external periosteal and internal meningeal layer of dura mater or between duplication of meningeal layer containing venous blood drained from brain and cranial bone. In previous video, we have discussed that dura has two layers, outer is periosteal layer and inner is meningeal layer. So outer periosteal layer, inner meningeal layer, and here meningeal dura foldings occur, dural folding occur here like this, and then the space between the outer and inner two layer is dural venous sinus. Dural venous sinus, these are called venous sinus because these are filled with venous blood and space is between dura, so dural venous sinus. Dural venous sinus may be between periosteal and meningeal layer, also may be between foldings of meningeal layer only. This is folding of meningeal layer and here is inferior sagittal sinus, that is this is dural venous sinus, inferior sagittal sinus between meningeal layer only, this is meningeal folding. Example are inferior sagittal sinus and striate sinus, two sinus are between meningeal folding, but most of the dural venous sinus are between periosteal and meningeal layer. The outer is periosteal and another is meningeal layer. This is meningeal layer and this space is dural venous sinus formed by periosteal and meningeal layer. So dural venous sinus formed by, here in definition, dural venous sinus present between external periosteal and internal meningeal layer. Most of these sinus are present between external and internal meningeal layer, but two inferior sagittal sinus and striate sinus are between duplication of meningeal layer, and also they are lined by endothelium and have no valve. They are valveless and their wall are also devoid of muscular tissue. And also dural foldings are falx cerebri, falx cerebelli, tentorium cerebelli and diaphragmocella. About this I have discussed in details in dural foldings in previous video. Here dural venous sinus may be paired and some are unpaired. Paired means they are two in number and one sinus on each right and left side, but unpaired are they are median in position and only one in number. So example of paired dural venous sinus are cavernous sinus, superior petrosal sinus, inferior petrosal sinus, transverse, sigmoid, sphenoparietal, petrosquamous, middle meningeal sinus. An example of unpaired venous sinus are superior sagittal, inferior sagittal, striate sinus, occipital, anterior intercavernous and posterior intercavernous, and basilar plexus of vein. Now let's understand from figure of dural venous sinus. In figure, this is falx cerebri, and in attached border of falx cerebri, that is superiorly, there is superior sagittal sinus. This is superior sagittal sinus, and in free margin, free border of falx cerebri, that is inferiorly, there is inferior sagittal sinus, and superior sagittal sinus. And here is vein of Galen, cerebral vein of Galen, and they together join and formation of striate sinus occur. This is striate sinus here, and inferiorly there is occipital sinus which is present in attached margin of falx cerebelli, and this occipital sinus straight sinus and superior sagittal sinus join together and formation of confluence of sinus. Confluence of sinus here. Superior sagittal sinus is located along superior aspect of falx cerebri. Also, arachnoid granulation during CSF from the subarachnoid space into dural venous sinus protrude into its wall. That is, outer is periosteal dural matter and then meningeal dural matter. This is superior sagittal sinus. And then arachnoid matter is here. Arachnoid matter. And here is CSF present in subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space. And arachnoid granulation is present like this into dural sinus. Into dural sinus, this is arachnoid granulation. Arachnoid granulation. Arachnoid granulation during the CSF from subarachnoid space into dural sinus like this. So, arachnoid granulation is protruded into dural venous sinus here. And then inferior sagittal sinus is located along inferior free edge of falx cerebri. And then straight sinus, deeper venous drainage of the brain is formed by meeting of great cerebral vein of Galen with inferior sagittal sinus. And then another is confluence of sinus is formed by SOS, straight sinus, occipital sinus and superior sagittal sinus. Here, this is confluence of sinus is formed by occipital sinus, superior sagittal sinus, straight sinus. SOS is confluence of sinus. To learn about remaining dural sinus, this is tentorium cerebelli, and here is from confluence of sinus, this is straight sinus, confluence of sinus, there is continuous of right transverse sinus and left transverse sinus. And here is cavernous sinus, left cavernous sinus and right cavernous sinus. They are joined by anterior intercavernous sinus and posterior intercavernous sinus. And from cavernous sinus, there is outcoming of superior petrosal sinus and inferior petrosal sinus. Superior petrosal and inferior petrosal sinus. Here, transverse sinus and superior petrosal sinus join together and formation of sigmoid sinus. Sigmoid sinus and sigmoid sinus and inferior petrosal sinus join together and come out from cranial cavity from jugular foramen continuous at internal jugular vein. Internal jugular vein is formed by inferior petrosal sinus and sigmoid sinus. And here is from inferior petrosal sinus and from cavernous sinus, intercavernous sinus, there is formation of plexus called basilar plexus continues down in vertebra as vertebral plexus. Here we can see cavernous sinus. This is the cavernous sinus, anterior intercavernous, posterior intercavernous sinus, and in cavernous sinus also drains from sphenoparietal sinus, and also middle meningeal vein, also called middle meningeal sinus, from superior ophthalmic vein coming into cavernous sinus. Then from cavernous sinus and intercavernous sinus, they are coming and join formation of basilar plexus. And from the cavernous sinus, inferior petrosal sinus, and from transverse sinus, superior petrosal sinus and transverse sinus, formation of sigmoid sinus and inferior petrosal sinus join together through jugular foramen and formation of internal jugular vein. So we can conclude about dural venous sinus like this. This is superior sagittal sinus in superior border of falx cerebri. This is inferior sagittal sinus in inferior border of falx cerebri, which joined with vein of Galen, great cerebral vein of Galen, and formation of straight sinus. Here straight sinus, occipital sinus and superior sagittal sinus, formation of confluence of sinus by SOS, then continuous right and left as right transverse sinus and left transverse sinus. Here right transverse sinus joined with superior petrosal sinus coming from cavernous sinus. From cavernous sinus, superior petrosal sinus joined with transverse sinus and formation of sigmoid sinus occur. Formation of sigmoid sinus occur in right and left also. Here left is shown sigmoid sinus, and sigmoid sinus is joined by inferior petrosal sinus, and through jugular foramen they continues at internal jugular vein. Also in cavernous sinus draining from different sinus like sphenoparietal sinus, also middle meningeal sinus, etc. Although the sinus are valveless, they are absent of valve and allow bidirectional flow of blood. If need arise, blood flow predominantly through them only in one direction. Confluence of sinus and intercavernous sinus, that is anterior and posterior, allow blood flow through them only to equalize the pressure on both right and left side. In right and left, this confluence of sinus and anterior and posterior intercavernous sinus, anterior and posterior intercavernous sinus and confluence of sinus are for equalizing the pressure in right and left side. Here direction of blood flow can be seen in flow chart. In superior sagittal sinus, blood flow mainly in right transverse sinus, whereas inferior sagittal sinus, blood flow occurs through straight sinus, then mainly in left transverse sinus. Here superior sagittal sinus flow blood towards the right transverse mainly, and inferior sagittal sinus mainly in left transverse sinus. That is, from superior sagittal sinus, blood flow occurs in right transverse sinus mainly, and from inferior sagittal sinus, blood flow occurs in left transverse sinus predominantly. And also from occipital sinus, blood flow towards in internal vertebral plexus in vertebra. And ophthalmic vein and sphenoparietal sinus, blood drains into cavernous sinus. From cavernous sinus goes into superior and inferior petrosal sinus. In transverse sinus and superior petrosal sinus, blood drain into sigmoid sinus. Then sigmoid sinus continues at internal jugular vein by joining with inferior petrosal sinus. In inferior petrosal sinus goes blood into internal jugular vein and also in basilar venous plexus. From the basilar venous plexus, internal venous plexus, vertebral venous plexus. These are blood flow direction in dural venous sinus. Here we will discuss about clinical anatomy of dural venous sinus is venous sinus thrombosis. This is thrombus formation in venous sinus. To know about venous sinus thrombosis, we shortly describe two things. One is dangerous area of scalp and dangerous area of the face. About dangerous area of the face, we have covered details in venous drainage of the face in previous video. You can check there. Also we shortly describe here. And another dangerous area of the scalp. The scalp has 5 layer SCALP scalp. This is L is a 4th layer, that is loose areolar tissue. In detail we will discuss in another video of scalp, but here just know 4th layer of scalp is loose areolar tissue. And from figure, this is loose areolar tissue, and here is emissary vein. Emissary vein means no valve there. If infection occur in loose areolar tissue, infection can migrate from here into superior sagittal sinus, that is dural venous sinus. So infection from here migrate and here in dural venous sinus can cause dural venous sinus thrombosis. Dural venous sinus thrombosis. Infection in the soft aponeurotic space, also called loose irregular tissue, pus collection radially spread into intracranial sinus through emissary vein which are valveless. This is scalp area, and also in dangerous area of the face, lower part of neck, lower part of nose and upper lip is dangerous area of the face. From infection is if here, then can spread via this route into pterygoid plexus into cavernous sinus. Also from the ophthalmic vein, like can go into cavernous sinus and cause cavernous sinus thrombosis. So, in clinical anatomy, venous sinus thrombosis. Superior sagittal sinus communicates with vein in the loose areolar tissue of scalp through parietal emissary foramina. Emissary vein has no valve, so can migrate in bidirectional. So, infection from scalp in loose areolar tissue, dangerous area of the face, which is called dangerous area of the face, can result in superior sagittal sinus thrombosis. And another is infection from dangerous area of the face, that is lower nose and upper lip is dangerous area of the face. Spread through ophthalmic vein and pterygoid venous plexus via the facial vein. Ophthalmic vein drain into cavernous sinus and pterygoid venous plexus communicates with cavernous sinus via emissary vein, valveless vein through foramina ovale. Both can cause cavernous sinus thrombosis. So, from dangerous area of the face, infection can spread into dural venous sinus and cause cavernous sinus thrombosis. And in from scalp, dangerous area of the scalp, loose areolar tissue, their superior sagittal sinus thrombosis can occur.